All right, coming on board, the head softball coach of arguably one of the best programs. Certainly in Division III, they're one of the best programs in this area, and could very well be one of the best programs in the state right now.
Well,
He is the head softball coach for the Ursuline Irish, Mike Kernan, joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Coach, how are you today, sir?
Well, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for calling in. My goodness, what a season for the Ursuline Irish! You and your team have been laying waste to darn near everyone this year in the early going of this 2021 softball campaign.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I think as well as we're playing, we're still trying to stay grounded. And actually, the kids are making it easy for me. You know, you wouldn't even know they're rolling like they are when we walk into practice or get talked about the next game. They just look at me like, "What's next, coach?" You know, so it's as great as the season is. Kids are making it easy on me, the way they play and their approach to the game.
And I got to imagine that approach starts with your senior leaders. And, man, do you have a wonderful senior class with Maris Barbado, Emily Holland, and Julia Nutter, all three of them going to college next year to play. And all three of them are doing amazing things, not just with the BAP and Emily Holland in the circle. What's it like having this senior class lead the team, and how fortunate are you that you get this senior class to lead the team?
Yeah, you're very right with that. They're a special group. They've been a special group, since their freshman year. But, now it's turned up a notch, and watching their leadership around the rest of the team, I mean, that I say they make it easy for me, but these three seniors are the nucleus to that, and they really just taking it in stride, and they're great leaders. They're, not only, like you said, taking care of business at the plate, but on the mound and defensively as well. And then just to being the leaders that they are is, I'm lucky to have the mix.
Mike Kernan, the head softball coach at Ursuline, joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Coach, Anthony and I have raved about your offense. That 1 through 9, 1 through 10, my goodness, there is no weak link. Everyone has the ability to hit the ball hard. It's the home runs, just the hard contact. There are no easy outs in your lineup. That's murderer's row in the softball diamond.
I tell you what, if you actually watch some of the games where we did not run roll a team, the defense I watched by the other team is pretty amazing in itself. Our 9-hitter, where we were playing Cuyahoga Heights up in Akron last week. They're undefeated, always a very quality Division IV program, banging around the regionals year in and year out. So we weren't sure what to expect, but you talk about the energy throughout our lineup. We were on the Pony Field fence up at Akron at Firestone in right field. We weren't in the stadium, so they had a portable fence. Our 9-hitter launches one, and this girl just reaches over the portable fence, has to lean over, still caught it in play, put her both hands out of bounds after she caught it, in foul territory, kept her 2 feet in play, and that was a third out of the inning. And I just kind of chuckled. I think when we played there the week before, they caught 2 at the fence that, if, the center fielder wasn't playing at the fence, it's probably a home run. So, it's interesting, the energy that's coming out of our full lineup. And, it's hard to explain, but they just go out there and they take care of business.
So, Coach, you were on the Pony Field for that game. Were you at the stadium at all in the weekend in Akron?
We did. We played 2 there. That's kind of the strategy, a little bit of getting up to the Akron Firestone Stadium is to get some reps in there. So we played there. We played there the week before, one game each weekend. So we got some good reps up there.
I want to ask about playing in that stadium and what it's like for. I mean, not just the fact that the state championship is there, but the fact that it's the stadium that's built for professional softball in the state of Ohio, and it's that kind of big atmosphere. What's it like stepping into that field, and to just kind of take a moment and realize the kind of the names that have come through that field, and the fact that you get to play on that dirt. What was that like?
It's kind of just a little surreal feeling, and you have to really absorb it and comprehend the big picture of it. You know me, I'm a fanatic. You guys don't know me well enough. I've gone up there and watched too many regional games, too many state games. We were up there in 2009 and played there. So every year you go up there and you kind of prep your team to get a rep on there with the vision of hey, this is where we need to get comfortable here. But just being there, knowing that's a possibility, makes that atmosphere and the environment, kind of just you feel good. Like, let's make this for real come playoff time. So, and I want you kids absorb. They enjoy getting on that field, And I'm going to pivot off of that because I have to say, our softball team is spoiled. YSU in itself, and you guys go up there and do a great job covering our games. YSU itself, we're spoiled when we step on that field too. But with the Akron Firestone field and the YSU field, we're almost feel spoiled every time we get around those fields, but we do appreciate it.
Mike Kernan, the head softball coach of the Ursuline Irish, joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. The fact that you play on a college softball field with perhaps deeper dimensions than a high school softball field, does that help your team offensively and pitching staff-wise in the long run, Coach?
Stat-wise, offensively, does it help us? I'd say if there's some fields around here, we would break quite a bit of home run records if we played on some of the high school fields around here. When you're hitting home runs like we are, you're earning it at the YSU field. Playing on those dimensions, you're really absorbing, even from the defensive side, you're absorbing how to play the game mentally in a different manner. You're playing on that full-fledged field. It's just the dimensions seem different, even though sometimes they're not. But you're earning your offense. It doesn't make it easier out there, but you're earning your offense. Probably more of a pitcher's field than it is a hitter's field, but either way, lucky to be on that field.
You guys have hit 19 home runs as a team in your 13 games played, and they've come from 7 different hitters. I mean, have you ever been a part of a group of players that can hit this deep in the line? I mean, 7 different players have hit a home run, and you have 19 of them through 13 games. It's really remarkable. I watched your lineup when I get to go do the games, and I'm not even joking when I say the lineup feels like it's a college lineup when you're going through it. Talk about just what it's like watching that.
That's a good question, because I don't know who's going to start the inning, who's going to ignite the inning, and where it's going to end sometimes. And when they're feeding off of each other, they say hitting's contagious. I mean, when you have the lineup we have, it's just hard to explain. Our 8-hitter is a 3-hitter or 4-hitter on our travel ball team. And like I said, our 9-hitter, we would have had 8 different hitters with the home run if that ball's not caught for some hanging over the fence. For myself, it's fun to watch. It's fun. It's fun from my end, easy. I mean, if you're not enjoying that as a coach of the team, then you're probably on the wrong offensive team. But our 1 through 5 right now is just another level consistently, and our 6, 7, 8, 9 is at a level I'd be happy if they were our 1, 2, 3, 4 hitters, and I keep saying that. So you're exactly right. This team isn't your normal hitting team when you're looking at our batting lineup 1 through 9.
Ursuline head baseball coach joining us, and that would be Mike Kernan on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. Anthony and I have talked of the depth of this Division III tournament, and considering the supersize tournament that we will have, two district tournaments into one gigantic tournament. The reality is only two teams are going to get out of the districts, and Anthony and I can rattle off 5 or 6 teams that could very well represent this area very nicely in a regional tournament, but only 2 of those teams are going to get into the regional. It's going to make for some interesting tournament baseball. I'm sorry, interesting tournament softball when the tournaments get underway, Coach.
Yeah. The super regional, I'm going to have to say from experience, I believe it makes it more fair. The Central has been doing this super regional for a few years. I'm glad we kind of got caught up to doing the super regionals. We could go back to 2 years ago, 2019 in Division II, when the Final Four was 20-win Mooney, undefeated Holland. We were 25-2. West Branch was 24-2, and you're like, who's coming out of this? And our game, so we all played in one district. 2 years later, now you can kind of divide up the better teams into 2 districts. You're still going to have top teams. Only 2 teams are still going to make it. But at least you create a little more fairness to if you have a bunch of top district teams in one district, at least they get to spread out to 2. So I think it leads to a little more fair. The fact we have so many quality teams in our area, that's just a credit to the coaches and the support around here and the growing nature of competition in the Mahoning Valley.
Earlier in the season, you guys got to play champion, and in 2018, 2019, for whatever reason, you guys had them scheduled and they got canceled because of weather or other reasons. So you finally get to play champion this year, and it's got to be a measuring stick coming into that game, thinking, okay, this is one of the best teams in the district, of course, state superpower. We have to see how we stack up against this team to really feel like how we're going to stack up in the tournament. Man, did you guys pass that test? 13-6, you laid it on champion. What was that game like, and how much momentum did that win give you guys for the next couple weeks after it?
Well, yeah, that's a very big win. Anytime you knock off champion and you knock them off in a solid statement style, you feel good about that. Champion they just have played at a high level, and they continue to play at a high level. We knew their record coming in playing us was no indicator of what kind of team they had, because they came out of the gate. When you're 3 or 4 times state championship over the last so many years, you don't have a choice but to play the best teams, even though you might be a notch down. And I don't know how much of a notch down they are. They competed with some very, very good Division I teams in other divisions. So we knew the indicator. Their record was no indicator. How we played and how our kids got ready. We wanted to play champion. We were probably they were probably in a better position than we were. Relaxed, no lose situation. We're undefeated. Rankings coming around the corner with for the tournament. That was a big game. They're 4-4, lost a couple tight games. We're undefeated. I wouldn't say the pressure was on us because we didn't feel it, but really it was almost other than us going out and doing what we did. Yeah, we made the statement to say, okay, we're here. We're a pretty solid team, and we're the ones at the top right now. I mean, so the game was it was a nice statement, so our district too has champion in it. I wouldn't want to play them again. Our district has South Range in it. That's South Range is another top team, and you talked about good teams. So, we take it as a measuring stick. We take it as momentum. Yeah, we thought we were good. That kind of maybe says, okay, it makes us feel a little better about ourselves, but our kids still just go play the game. I can't tell a difference the day after, 2 days later, or even from a ranking standpoint. Our kids just show up, coach, who's next? What do we need to do at practice today? So all good stuff.
You made mention when you played champion, perhaps if there was any pressure, it would be on you guys. But let's talk about that word, because you're riding a unbeaten streak to start the season. The further along you go, do you sense any pressure the further along you go, given the fact that you're an undefeated team?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I don't know that. And I think you guys brought up the number one ranking, which we got the number one Division III ranking too, and hey, I've been here 20 years, and you're always saying, I want to be number one. I want that number one ranking. That'd be nice. Okay, well, finally we're here. We got it. And that's going to change. Could change each week. But you know what? These kids deserve it. I'm going to enjoy it a day or two. But in the end, that stuff is the ranking. The rankings. Whether you're 4, 8, you got to go take care of business. Whether you're 1, you got to go take care of business. You might have a bigger bullseye on your back, now that you're number one. But I think that's where I find our team is at another level, because it's not about taking, getting out there, feeling pressure. We're undefeated. The look in my players' eyes is they're enjoying the season, and they want to know who we play next, coach. I don't even sense it out of them, and I'm like taken back by that a little bit. So I don't see it. I don't sense it. These kids are just kind of out there playing, and having fun with it. And I think that's incredible to watch as a coach. I mean, again, I've never been in 13-0, never been ranked number one, and to see how these kids are hammering themselves at practicing at the games, it almost takes the pressure off me if there's supposed to be pressure, but they're relaxing, enjoying it, and having fun with it.
Every team that's great finds ways to get better, finds things they can improve on. Got to be kind of hard for you when you look at the numbers and you look at the way you guys are playing to try to find things to improve on. But as the season has gone on and now as the season keeps going, what kind of things do you look at your team and say, we still want to get better at this if we want to really reach our ultimate goal? So what are the things that you're looking at to improve?
Be great teammates. Don't think we're better than we are. Our attitudes, and I see that. Make sure we continue to step up the schedule towards the end of the season, and get better at those games. And I think they want to play and win every game and be undefeated. Who doesn't? But I could see us losing a game and them saying, "Who's next?" Knowing that come tournament time, we got to put our game face on and make things happen. So just watching these kids handle themselves is a pleasure.
Mike Kernan, the head softball coach at Ursuline. Coach, before we let you go, and he's joining us on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline, here's a scary thought. Do you feel like your team has played its best softball, or do you believe there is still a extra gear that you have not seen from these kids as of yet?
I keep watching us play a game, and I'm waiting for that gear to kind of settle down. So they're playing in a high gear. I know we can get in a higher gear. When you go play Mooney, these kids, their first goal of the season is when do we play Mooney? It didn't matter. There was no rankings. There was no nothing. The look in the kids' eyes was, I was sitting there thinking, I don't know if I want to play this team. And I'm coaching them. So, the level they're playing at, I'm sure we're going to have a little bit of downs, some more ups. Go with the flow. Stay focused on what our ultimate goal is in the end. But we might have some ups and downs and not get too excited about it. And I think they understand, keep improving. Like yesterday at our practice and hitting, the kids are in there just focused on making sure they're making consistent, solid contact. So we're never settled, even if we're playing at a high level, to staying sharp and staying focused and make sure, we're at our A game. But I got to think throughout the season we might have a down game or two, and I'm positive that's going to happen. And we're just going to go with the flow. And I think come tournament time, these kids will know what's at hand. They're going to have that look in their eye that's saying, we're going to go take care of business. So I feel good about that. But, so the whole picture is they'll be ready.
We can't let you go without letting you talk about your coaching staff, because you get all the light, you get all the interviews, but I know you don't do it alone. So talk about the people that are with you and the help they bring to the team and the support they bring to you in the program.
Shoot. I got Coach Barb Bellestrino, who's been with me for 20 years. Anybody would tell you she's like we're like sister and brother. With our we've grown to a great relationship. She's been with me day one. She's a Hall of Famer at YSU, Hall of Famer at Ursuline. To have that in our mold, we have the same background. Of play hard, no excuses. Take care of business on the field. We come from that same old mold, which is great. Having the female around the female environment, another huge plus. And she's a great player in herself. So just to her alone is amazing to have as assistant coach, not only for me but for the team and the other coaches. And the other coaches always make fun of Coach Barb keeps me in check. If there's anybody who needs to keep me in check, it's Coach Barb. But we got Coach Red Hart. She was our leadoff hitter in our 2009 state runner-up team. And she's really grown and been has come around to just be a great assistant coach, helping in plenty of different facets. She was a great slapper. You have Coach Christina Dugan. She played at YSU with Coach Campbell. I think she was at Tiffin, Coach Campbell's first year, played there for 3 years. She now teaches up at Ursuline. Gosh, and I think they called her the Iron Man, because I don't think she missed playing any games in her career. If so, not many. But her mentality with the kids, the skill level she played, how she relates to the kids is incredible in itself. I have another player who graduated a few years ago, so I have another younger player, Coach Nikki Melkovich, who just is around, does pretty much anything you ask her to do. She pitched a little bit for us. She was an infielder, outfielder, pretty decent hitter, played on some nice winning teams for us, and she's that youth level involved with the kids that kind of keeps us in checks too with the players and coaches. I probably got the biggest coaching staff around too, so our program's probably pretty good because of our coaching staff, not me and the players. Because then we got Coach Doc Dankovich, who's a longtime official, been around all kinds of sports. He's an add-on this year. Great official. He helped me in basketball this year. He was so good in basketball, I had to ask him, "You mind helping us in softball?" And he's just a tremendous asset around the kids as well. So I mean, my staff, we're fortunate at Ursuline to have what we have. I couldn't be luckier. Great players, phenomenal staff, and let all that take its course.
Coach, I got to ask before we let you go, and we're speaking with Ursuline head softball coach Mike Kernan on the MP Vivo Heating and Air Conditioning Hotline. If you don't win a state championship this year, is it considered to be a disappointment for this program this year?
We have high expectations. I also know how hard it is to win a state championship. We come in every year in and year out, and with expectations that we can do this. I mean, we're obviously a little more talented this year, a little more well-rounded. So is it going to hurt a little more maybe if we don't hit those high expectations? It's probably going to hurt a little more. It hurts every year, that last game. 20 years I haven't ended the season on a winning note yet. So you get used to it. This one's definitely going to hurt a little more, and that's okay. Because that's been fire. That's been fuel in my fire to get us where we are, to continue to get better. all the way up to this season, and that's part of life. And in the end, these kids know how to prepare. How you prepare them for life. You prepare me for the next season. You prepare them for the next season. So that's life if it's all absorbed in the same manner, in the right manner. And in the end, that's what that athletics is about, is not what kind of athlete did I make this player, what kind of person did I make this player. And unfortunately, losing in the end is one of the toughest things to handle. But I will say, yes, this one might be a little more tougher, but we're going to give it our best shot, that's for sure.
Well, you got a really good chance of coming home a winner this time around with the last game, Coach, and we wish you all the best.
You've been talking about pressure all day, and Ron just put the ultimate pressure on you guys.
It's a question. I mean, they're undefeated. They're number one in the state. I'm just saying,
I'm going to enjoy a couple of days being here. I'll keep my kids in check. Good question. Hey, the pressure thing's a good question, because I'm like, are we supposed to be feeling pressure? Because we're just playing. I think that's a great. I think that's a great question.
And keep doing that. Keep playing and keep having fun. And let the chips fall where they may. That should be the ultimate. And hopefully the ultimate ending for you and your kids is a trip to Akron and you win your final game, and then let the celebration begin. Coach, we can't thank you enough. The best of luck to you and continued success this year at Ursuline.
Hey, thanks for having me, and thanks for helping keep it a little fun. Thanks, guys. Keep it up.
You got it. Mike Kernan, the head softball coach at Ursuline.